Bruce, I just want to show you this. As I was fitting this to your bumper, it peeled back, the chrome peeled back, and just about every bit of it peeled off in one piece. Well, Bruce, as normal, this has gotten a little involved. And the thing that's creating a big problem is this piece apparently wasn't the original piece with these end pieces because it was damaged up and shrunk around pretty good. So the mouth of this side of it is a little smaller circumference than this one. It's a little larger. Well, when this was 3 pieces and you had a bracket on the side and these kind of just sandwiched it all in, you could somewhat get it in place. Well, now that I've got these exactly the same, this piece here needs going down. I've been cutting and fitting and cutting and fitting. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. That's original, and it's just horrible the way it comes in like that. So that's making me have to go inside here and first off I wanted to mount it to make sure that I had the exact angle that I needed to make this work. Let me get this off. The exact angle how it's going to sit on the truck. The truck's level in every way. The bumper's level in every way. So I want this to set square and level in every way. And it's required me to cut this out, and that's what I was doing. But now I'm starting to hit the structure of this bracket here. So what that's going to make me do is cut this out, and then I'll mount it back on here with my bolts, put some spacers under it to give it some clamping space. And then I'll just start whittling this thing down until it fits. I'm going to have to go down quite a bit. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and square it up and drop it down, and it's just going to take a minute to cut all that. If I don't, it's always going to be a little crooked. So it's kind of all or nothing. I just kind of have to do it and get it straight, or while I'm doing it, just go ahead and do it and make it fit. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and make it fit. This joint right here, where the two come together, you can see it's a little bit larger. And that's what these were for, decorative and to hide that spot right there. So that's all I know to do. And then we'll have to come in here and I'll probably do a little filling with weld right here, try to blend that a little bit. Or maybe I can move this over and hide that right over it. It's just I got some bolts in here that's kind of dictating where it goes there. But I may move that over just a little bit just for that. I don't know. I'm trying to get it to stop. It's like a can of worms, and it's just going. All right, I took my cutoff tool and I just cut the center out of that, and I'm gonna clean all that up, and then I will actually mount this on here. Well, it'll be like that. I'll put some spacers under it, and once I get it where I want it, then I'll just take this space and I'll just start. Now I've got the whole thing. Now I can make it fit just perfect. Just keep going down and down and down. Now you can see how much better I can do this. So with having that cut out of here now, I was able to prep this, pickle it. I've got spacers under it, space it out in the perfect spot, then tighten it all up in this spot, which is going to locate the rear of the side of this bumper, and also it's going to locate this. So when this gets tight, I want this to be located straight exactly where I want it. If not, it's going to be brutal, especially after getting it chromed and all that, and that's not going to happen. So now I've got that set with my spacers on there and tight. I'll be able to work that right down to the perfect spot. I'm close now, and I want to show you how I'm getting the alignment on this. I went to the crest of this, and it's not 100%, but I was able to dial in a straight line right down the center of it, right down the face of it. And I've been using a level for this one, and then for the one here, I've put this square straight edge up against the back of the body here, which I know is square, which goes all the way back to when we was setting the floor and setting the post and getting all that exactly square level and working my way back. Now I shoot this number off of this out through this with using that straight edge and this big large square here. So I have been setting it, checking my mark right there that I've made down the center of it, and then just grinding accordingly. Now I've got this side fit really, really nice, and this is pointing out just a little bit. So now that's going to allow me to take this other side and work it down. I've been marking it and moving it, marking it, moving it, but it's not as easy as just marking it and cutting exactly that mark, because, like I say, the round stuff, as the mouth of this changes on the mouth of that, it changes the way it fits. So you just have to work little bits at a time. I've been filing this and checking it and filing it and checking it, and now with my square up there, level off the car, and that just sits up there tight. It is right on the money of being square with the car. And then my line up in the front, I've been checking with my level, and it's right on the money. So now it just goes right up there just like that. So now I've got it up there like that, and I've got this tight, and I've reformed it so the bolts will be easy to go in and out. When this thing gets turned a little bit, it makes it hard to get the bolts in and out. So I fixed all that, got the bumper secured tight where it needs to be, and fixed to go in there and tack weld back in here, and then remove this off here, weld that up, and pull my spacers out, and that one's done, and it's perfectly square. And then I'll do this one like that. I mean, this one up against there, it's horrible, horrible. But this is going to hide our weld line we put through here. I might have to do a little bit of work right here, and might be a little remnants of it. I might have to make it just look like a two-piece or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out as I go along. But fix that, tack weld that on there. Got this side fitting. It's bolted, bumpers tight and secure, except for my outrigger. I mean my end bumper bracket there. But that one is about done. Now I've allowed room for more tuning, but it's tuned in pretty dang nice. If we happen to get to the point where I get some volunteer help or something over here, I may get them to set and file a little bit more, but other than that's pretty good. So now I went ahead and cut your other one out, because I know it's got to turn way beyond the amount of clearance I had, and I'm fixing to put it on there. And then I run into the one coarse threaded nut that they had put on, I guess, at the chrome shop. So every nut in here is fine thread, and they weld on that one coarse thread, and I'm already here, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out and then weld in this nice nut in there, and that's going to allow me to line it. So I'll be able to jig it all up, put the nut in there, tighten it up, and then weld in the new one in the exact angle it needs to be threaded in. And I just couldn't leave it, because forever you'd have one oddball bolt for sure in the world, it'd get stripped out or something. So that way they'll all be fine thread. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out, put this one in there. They are custom fit. When they tighten the bumper down and clamp the bumper, it lines the bumper. They land exactly straight. I couldn't be happier with it. And I have a little room to tune them a little bit more, even if I want to, but I shouldn't have to. And then when I check them, I shot a straight line. I marked them both with a straight line. They're exactly on, in line with the cab, because it's kind of hard to read those things, because they're not exactly uniform. They're extremely round, and they're going a round surface. So shooting that line has saved the day. And then I checked it on that line at the rear, at the front, and at the bottom. So, and they're the same. Within a millimeter or two, they're the same. So they're straight back, and tickled with that. Took a minute to do that. So now it's time to get in here on this rear hitch. And I've got my transmission jack under here, and I've got it set. And about right there is pretty good. You're not going to see the receiver. You'll be able to get to it pretty good. So I think that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to study a little bit. I'm fixing to quit for the day, study this for a minute, sleep on it, and then knock it out, and then this back will be done. Oh, I still got to do these brackets for the end of the bumper brackets, but I'll do them while I'm under there. But yeah, we're about to wrap this back up.